Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is another outdoor philosophy. It's probably one of the last really nice days I'm going to have out here. So, I don't know, the outdoor philosophies might start getting a little chilly here if I keep doing them. In fact, it's a little cold just for the t-shirt right now, so I'll have to figure that out later. All right, but today we are going to be continuing with our simplicity. So, like I said, I'm going to do a series of simplicity because it doesn't take a whole lot of research time throughout the week to get things going. And so, what we're going to do today, I'm actually going to skip over a couple sections because what I'm going to talk about today, I don't need visual aids for, and I have some visual aids for some of the other ones I was going to talk about. Simplification here. Last time, of course, we talked a little bit more about digital simplification. Today, we're actually going to talk about physical simplification. And I'm just going to title this one, Clear Out the Crap. Clear out the crap. And so what I want to discuss over the course of this level of simplicity is some of the ways and tips and strategies. First, if you have a lot of stuff and a lot of clutter, if you have an attic full of stuff, ask yourself, why do I have an attic full of stuff? And figure out if that's a necessity in your life or if that's just something that's just like burdens you down. Think about what happens if you would have a fire in your house. Would you be absolutely devastated at the loss of all these things? Or think about if you had to move suddenly, you had to evacuate your house. What are the most important things you take with you? These are all good questions to ask. I moved my hands around, I hit my wire there. These are all good questions to ask. And it's worth asking them and giving yourself some honest answers and saying, do I really need all this stuff? And I started to look into that question and even throwing away some things that I didn't think I'd ever throw away. Like one example, I had a trumpet because I used to play in a band and, marching band and stuff in high school, and in 10th grade was the last year I did any band. I decided to give up the band class for the for studying math and science and stuff, what I ended up going into, and I hadn't played the trumpet for any real anything since 10th grade. I graduated high school like 20-ish years ago, and I've been calling the stupid trumpet around everywhere. Because it was a sentimental item. It was something that I kind of liked, and so what I figured out is that I never touched the thing except when I moved. And so eventually what I decided to do is all of that kind of sentimental stuff I just took photographs of and then tossed it. And that's what I did. I was carrying around that trumpet for greater than 20 years, house to house, apartment to apartment, place to place, storage garage, taking up space. Finally just dumped it. Clear out that crap. Clear out those old sentimentals that don't have any purpose. So what do I do for sentimentals? Because I'm a sentimental guy. I have one bin. If it bleeds out, stuff's got to be thrown away. And you know what I found out? I found out that when I clear out that bin, it feels great. And when I clear out stuff, it feels great. You would not believe the amazing feeling it is once you actually wipe crap out of your life and live simplistically. It is absolutely the most amazing feeling you would ever have in your life. Because in reality, when you own a bunch of stuff, your stuff owns you. Your stuff owns you. And that's a problematic thing. And so how do you clear out a lot of this stuff? Well, here's one good strategy, and this comes from the book 100 Ways to Simplify Your Life. What she talks about in there is take some bins and put some dates on them and fill those bins up with stuff and then put the bin back there. And if you have not gone into that bin for a year, actually I think she says 6 months, pull out the bin, don't even open it up, just pull it out and throw it away. That's it. You don't even want to know what's in there. It's now obviously there's a little exceptions. You only pull out your Halloween decorations or whatever once a year. Obviously you have a place for those. But another thing, I was at a friend's house and his wife's like, oh, can you get down the Christmas stuff? And so I go up there. We go up there and I'm going to help him get the Christmas stuff out of the attic. And they're in this tiny apartment that's like, at the time, I think it was even smaller than mine. My apartment's not the biggest, but their apartment was like less than half the size of mine, we'll say. They literally pulled more bins, or me and my friend pulled more bins out of their attic than actual belongings I own everywhere in my life. He's looking at this and goes, you got to cut back. You got to cut back. And of course, we helped them move. And the amount of stuff that they had was just mind-boggling. Especially these are people my age. Like, how do you get twice as much stuff as I actually have? Actually, no, it's not twice. I mean, it was like 100 times the stuff I actually have. I mean, when I moved into my apartment now, and this was even before I started cutting a lot of things back, I mean, I did it all in my car, and it probably didn't take me more than 10 carloads. I'm probably down right now that if I dump the non-essential furniture stuff, basically keeping a couple bookshelves that I want to keep, I could probably move everything I have now in 5 carloads or less. And I want to get that down even more. And I'm not done getting things down because I'm in the middle of minimalizing my taxes, of course. That's digital, but it is physical in the sense that they're right now taking up physical space. I'm putting them digitally and organizing them there. So that's a reality. But what you start to do is you start to take all these little sentimentally type things and put them in boxes and put them away. Maybe if your house is full of knickknacks, and my mother's house is so full of knickknacks, it's boggling. Take half of the knickknacks down, throw them in a bin, and put them away, and date them with a date in 6 months from now. And in 6 months, if you've not gone into there for something you critically needed, just pull the box out, and in that case, pull the box out and take it to Goodwill or something. Don't even look in it. Don't open it. Don't look in it. Don't look in it. Just you don't want to know. And that's kind of that thing, is that we get so much stuff that our stuff starts to bog us down. And we get to this point to where we're so constrained, so held hostage by our stuff. In fact, there is an Adventures in Odyssey. It is called Tales of Moderation. I forget which volume it's on. But if you can get a copy of that and listen to, it's basically 3 stories of why Wit lives so modestly despite being so wealthy. And the second one is actually things that you own end up owning you. It goes into the story of a guy played by Will Ryan who he sought out to have all of the modern conveniences, and so he's got literally in this short little 5-minute clip, they make reference to everything, electric shavers and toasters and TVs and alarm clocks and all these little different things. They make all of these references to all of these things in there, and it's just, you look back and what happens partway through the episode, I'll spoil it for you, what happens partway through the episode is all of his appliances come alive and demand that he clean out the whiskers out of the electric razor, and he cleans the butter and the crumbs out of the toast pan, and that, of course, this is probably dating the show, but you haven't adjusted the vertical hold on your television. Woo, that is dating the show. But he talks about how when you have all of these modern things, you have to start putting time into maintenance of all of these modern things. And I looked at that in my own life and I said, why do I need a bread maker? It's actually easier and in a way relaxing to make bread without a bread maker. And so I think I still have it in the house, but it's really in my way. I haven't completely minimalized the kitchen. I kind of want to do that on a video sometime. But just clearing the stuff out, the physical stuff. So the first things I actually did is I went back into the closet of stuff, and I literally emptied that closet. Was almost unenterable, and now it's a perfectly appropriate closet. There's a few extra things in there that I'm thinking I want to get rid of, but I don't know yet. I don't know. Anybody wants this, maybe. Basically, in my last apartment, I was experimenting with a micro-scale aquaponics system that I don't think I'm going to use in the future. I want to do something a little bit different, although it worked. It worked very well. That's still in the closet. I might get rid of it. I don't know yet. But look in your closets. Open your closet. If you can't even get into there because of all of the stuff, ask yourself, do you really need all that stuff? Look at the excessive appliances. A lot of us in modern day America, we have an excessive amount of appliances we don't need. So like some of the things I got rid of, I don't have a toaster anymore. I mean, I have a toaster oven because it's a multi-use device. And I love the toaster oven, but I don't have a toaster anymore. And the reason I use the toaster oven so much is because I generally cook for one person. A toaster oven gives me a lot better flexibility for cooking things on using less power than a full range stove does. I do have a microwave, although I have to say that If somebody said, of all of the stuff in your house you have to get rid of, which one item would you use? It would actually be the microwave. I never use it. I might boil some water in there. I will warm up my coffee midway through the day. I don't use the microwave. I guess I do, in the sense that when I cook soups, I will reheat soup that I have frozen in the microwave. I think that might be the only real use I use for the microwave right now. Let's see. Of course, we already talked about knickknacks. If you have a house full of knickknacks, get rid of half of them. And then in a year's time, get rid of half of them again. And realize that having knickknacks in your house is just a distraction, and then you're always having more things, and so you're spending more money on more knickknacks because you see something else that you really like too. But if you're getting rid of all that stuff and you're going, it just kills your desire to want to go out and buy things. Even in the period of time I have really converted my life to being more of a minimalist intentionally, my accessory spending budget is less than half what it was. I mean, I'm pretty much spending nothing anymore. It's kind of cool, actually. I like it. Look at your movies and games and music. If you don't really care for those movies, get rid of them. Like, here's a fun one. I don't have any Star Wars movies anymore. I mean, I was a kid that grew up on the movie. I liked it, and I think I had the remastered collection right around the time the prequels were coming out. And I had all the prequels at one point in time, but then I'm just like, you know what? I've seen them so many times. They're good, but they're not like iconic for me, so I got rid of them. Tons and tons and tons of movies I just got rid of. Of course, what I'm waiting for is that time when I can legally make a copy of my movies so I can get rid of the rest of them and just keep digital copies. But, you know, America's not there yet. I could save that for another day, but also look at paper books. This is, for me, the hardest thing to get rid of is books. I love books. But I'm proud of myself. I said, I'm going to get rid of 30 books. I ended up getting rid of like 200. So I'm like, yay, victories. And I have a bunch more I'm going to get rid of. I want to read a bunch more that are on there, on my shelves. And then, you know, there's a lot of books that once I read them, I'm going to get rid of them. I'm pretty much said, if it's a serious, significant book for me, I'm going to keep it. Otherwise, I'm going to like it. I'm going to make some notes about it. I'm going to, if I can find a DRM-free digital copy, I'll do that. But otherwise, once I've read it, I'm getting rid of it. You know, I mean, and I've even done that with some good classic books that I really liked, because, like, for example, one book that I really liked is The Fox's Book of Martyrs. The problem is it's so hard to find anything in there. I've read it. I understand what's in there. I have a digital copy of it now, though, because I could, you know, it's not copyrighted anymore. So I have a digital copy. The only reason I want the book right now is to search for things. Like, I want to reread the story of Telemachus. Well, in the book, I have to remember where it is and then scan the pages, and it takes me a long time to find it. On the ebook, I just do a search, Telemachus. Got it. It's right there. Now I can read it. I can read all the references to it. So I'm still kind of a book purist, and I will always prefer to read a paper book, but I do not have an objection to reading a digital book, especially if that's a good option. Look at the clothes that you have. I remember one woman I dated a long time back. She had, like, I think she had 100 times more clothes than I did. And literally, she had her whole closet was full of clothes. The whole guest room closet was full of clothes. And then she had like 3 extra dressers full of clothes, and there were still clothes piling all over the place. I'm like, what do you need this many clothes for? Like, you can't even wear, like, she had so many clothes, like, she could wear a different thing every single day for 2 years. Okay, that's too many clothes. See if you can cut back to less than a month's worth of clothes. See if you can cut back to less than a week's worth of clothes. That's a challenge. Donate, donate, donate. Just clear out the crap. It seems like it'd be so hard to do, but once you do it, you will love it. I mean, I've gotten rid of clothes, I've gotten rid of furniture, I've gotten rid of a lot of things, and every bit of it, I'm spending a lot less money. I seem to have a lot more time. I'm enjoying life a whole lot more. Just simplify. Cut back the crap and simplify. So that's I think that's where we're going to end here today. I have several other topics we're going to talk about here, but that'll be wrap up for Simplicity Part 2 on outdoor philosophy. So thank you for watching. If you would like to help support what we're doing, check out switchtolinux.com/support to help figure out the ways you can best help us. And with that, thanks for watching. and hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.